Hello and welcome. Yep, I missed a day. Unofficially missed a day. This is going to get posted on a Tuesday, so happy Tuesday, everybody. Time has slipped by us. It is Tuesday all of a sudden. Monday got canceled. I'm not really happy about it, but I was suggested that I second guess my post. My video kind of went off the rails. It was super emotional. I gotta be honest. I may have mentioned a couple of words that are very, very controversial, trigger happy. So today, being Tuesday, it's like a time to think Tuesday. Time to think instead of just being emotional and putting my message out there despite other messages and other feelings that might be touched by what I said. So we're going a different route. This is not the normal way that I walk, as some of you will know, but if you're new, hi. Welcome to the randomness that is my daily vlog that doesn't seem to get very many more than 10 views a day. Woo! Go team! Really making a dent. Actually, the only thing that really did get my videos, and this is really telling of like controversy in general, is the one video that got more views than any other was the most controversial video where somebody was giving me shit for something that I said. So controversy and negativity seems to get more attention than anything else, and I try to do the opposite. Damn, dusty over here. They had a lot of construction on this street. So yeah, I don't want to touch on controversy, and the reason why I posted the video yesterday, and I'll be honest, there's a section in the middle where I used a lot of words to describe how I felt and a position that I'm coming from. It may still not be comfortable for a lot of people. So I'm gonna have to edit it, and I just wanted to be transparent. Tuesday transparency. And I wanna just say that I will be editing it for some content, but I wanna maintain the message. I wanna be able to express the idea that I had, which was, see if I can reword some of it without repeating myself. I got into some sort of like disagreements and conversation with friends. One friend that spiraled into a couple of others, where my socializing skills are questionable at best sometimes. And I really speak like an analyst and not always quite like a person, if that makes sense. My history of philosophy and argumentation makes me rather emotionless and cold sounding because I'll analyze data rather than an entire perspective. I'll pick apart or analyze certain parts of what was said just so I can detail things, not just for my own understanding, but like in general, like for everybody's sake, for, I don't know, I really empathize with a lot of people and struggles and things that are going on. And yesterday I was angry and defensive, and in my defensiveness I decided to just lay it all on the table. But you know, the climate of the world is, if I actually had the freedom of speech, the freedom of expression, the acceptance of an opinion, and a voice like everybody else deserves a voice, if I actually had those things, I wouldn't have a problem posting what I said yesterday. Really, and I genuinely think that that's where we are at, that some people are, and rightfully so in a way, they are having their voices heard. And it is about time, absolutely. I'm not trying to say that mine's any more important. I just still want to have one. I don't want to, it was really tough for me to actually swallow all my pride and effort. I don't really have a lot of pride about it. It's just the idea of, I don't think that anybody should be silenced for their message. Certainly if it's not a hateful one. Mine wasn't, that's for sure. I never once uttered any word, phrase, I'm going to say slur because I used it as an example. I never mentioned it once in terms of hating somebody. I meant it more like, I don't use these things. I don't say this stuff. I discourage other people around me from saying it. And I'm typically one to just play devil's advocate in an argument because there's always more than one side to a story. It's like two-sided Tuesdays. So I get misunderstood a lot, I feel like. And I wanted to make the video to apologize to my friends, to explain where some of it comes from. I have a really twisted sense of humor. To continue with my alliteration Tuesday, twisted sense of humor. And I do. I have a twisted sense of humor where I can see different sides of a story or a factor or wording, and I twist it into something that it isn't, and sometimes it just comes out wrong. Wrong because most people don't want to hear it. Not wrong because it doesn't fit or it doesn't make sense in some kind of way. It's just more like, you know, some sort of social rule or agreement or whatever has said that, like, this is not okay, and that's what makes it like the rules. So I don't know. I don't play well with rules. But there was a really interesting podcast the other day. I was listening to Joe Rogan, like always, almost every day I listen to him. And not just because of him, because he's an interesting person. And he's got a lot of experience interviewing like knowledgeable guests. It's more for the guests that I listen, because it's like it's a way to condense the knowledge that you're getting, because it's a conversation between two people that draw out points from educated people. And instead of my going to all these resources, libraries, online, like, you know, whatever you can, I'm listening to that individual who is educated speaking on that topic during that conversation. I don't have to run around and find it. It's all on like one podcast. So he had a guest on. He was talking about what freedom means. What is freedom? And he was breaking down all the factors and elements, and often he was saying that when people talk about freedom, what they're really talking about are rights. And rights, he was saying that rights are kind of given to you. You don't really have rights. You're granted rights. It was an interesting conversation. If I remember when I upload this video, which sometimes I don't, I'll try to link it in the comments or link it in the description so everybody can kind of follow along, at least with the person's book or with the writer, so you can see what I'm talking about. So anyways, it's like now with our social climate and the conversation that we want to propagate through history now, the things that we're trying to change about what we say and who we say it to, and how we decide who gets what treatment and corrections that are being made about our broken history. Like, I touched on it in the video, like, and I don't want to repeat myself, but there are a lot of things that have gone on throughout history by certain people towards other groups of people that are just absolutely atrocious behavior, that are based on differences and prejudices and racisms and hatred and bigotry. All those things really need to go away. Absolutely go away. I was telling someone at work the other day that he asked me, he's like, sorry man, I forgot your name. I said, that's okay, man. Honestly, like, I don't remember everybody's name either. I'm not that great at that. But for me, it's not about our names or titles, or, like I said, like, sometimes I don't even remember looking at myself in the mirror. I don't want to remember my face. So the idea for me with people are like, we are entities of energy, and a lot of the things that we are born into or educated by or influenced by are assigned to our energy in the universe as a title to make it easier to describe certain things. You know what I mean? Like, everything gets a name or a word or a description because otherwise it doesn't have any of that stuff naturally. We as a species named it. Animals might also have recognition types of cues, but they're different, and we don't understand what they are quite. Some might. Some people, some studies might be able to know what some birds identify things as. There might be a sound in a lot of bird calls and animal calls for like enemy or danger or run, you know what I mean? So anyways, they're words and signifiers to divide our experience to make it easier. So he forgot my name, and I'm not offended by that, because sometimes I'd like to forget I have a face or a body, or and I don't take it personal. And it broke it into like identity. I don't identify with my face sometimes, which is why a lot of my social media, I don't do this. I do it on YouTube because it's kind of a thing to do if you don't see somebody's face or whatever. Maybe I could just start turning the camera around and be a voice while you guys are like watching the scenery. But to be honest with you, it's kind of boring around here. Look. You're telling me that you would watch a video that's really like shaky and shit while I'm walking by the airport? Like, that's similar to like trying to drive across the middle of Canada or the prairies in the States. It's super boring. There's nothing to look at. They'd be like, hey, look, there's a Camaro. It's got blue stripes on it. How about that shit? So forgive me, but I'm putting my face on the camera. But it's about an identity, right? We identify with things in our lives because of influence, because of many, many, many factors. Many factors. Some of them are good. Some of them are negative. Some of them bring us together as a group, like drummers. A lot of drummers hang out with each other because they have a shared passion for something. Audiophiles, what I'm into with all of my fellow audio geeks and nerds, like comic books or wrestling or sports fans, or like Go Raptors Go, like that sort of team tribe identity is really important to people because they want to feel connected to something. Now, fast forward to yesterday, where I tried to sort of defend a position I had and describe how untribalistic I am, I guess, where I haven't taken any defensive sides. So like, there's a lot of talk about, Black Lives Matter, these atrocities against Native people across all of North America through most of North American history. I haven't really been all that active, and I probably haven't educated myself enough on all the topics to even have much of a factual opinion or one to stand on. Only that I don't propagate any of those behaviors. I don't use any of the phrases. I don't support any of the conversations that I hear. I often report bullshit online that's like people are really being hateful or discriminatory or prejudiced. I'm one of those people. I don't believe in any of it, and I stand against it wherever I can. So in my description, in the video where you guys can vote, you could tell me today, I used the N-word flat out. I did. And it made me feel a little bit sick to my stomach saying it, because I know how much that word hurts. Like, I can empathize with all those people that would have been hurt by it right now. Like, I could feel like I don't want to cry about it, because I know how much hurt is associated with all of those things to all of those people. The same with what's going on, like what month is it this month? It's Pride Month, right? I had somebody on my Facebook wall before I deleted everybody because it just became too toxic and emotional for me to deal with every day, posted something about how Memorial Day for veterans is only one day and Pride Month gets the whole month. As if that's a fucking argument. What, they're complaining because veterans don't get a whole month? Or they're complaining that people that have been discriminated against because of their sexuality or their orientation or whatever get a whole month and veterans get one day? What is the argument? What is the basis for argument? See, like, this is where I become the philosopher. And I respect that my friends have this opinion. Some of them are ex-military background. They have something of a kindred spirit or a tribal association to the military. Maybe their grandparents were veterans. And you think that because your family was in the military, that people of sexual orientation discrimination in history, like how many people have suffered sexual orientation discrimination versus the people that have gone to war and fought for countries? I'll tell you this much, from my point of view, and not that I'm really going to stand on either side, but I think that the numbers of people that are represented in Pride, some of them are veterans, but not all Pride protected or represented people are veterans, right? There are far more people celebrating Pride for any reason than there are veterans that have fought in wars, I would say. Memorial Day is also just like a US holiday. I mean, Canada's also got its own kind of holiday for the same thing. Anyways, I'm not on either side of this argument. I think both are important, but I think that, like, putting up a flag to say that one is misrepresented or not represented enough, I don't know. Why? Just because that's the camp you're in? I say that, and this is why I got upset yesterday and started to describe all this. I started breaking down all these descriptions, as I don't get why people are fighting over stuff like this. The arguments don't make much sense to me. Again, I'm coming from a place of just empathy because I don't want the fighting. I describe in the video also as why I don't like conflict. So I kind of want to put this out there as like permission. I want to know if my viewers understand where I'm coming from here. I will edit the video so like it's obvious what I'm talking about, but it's not blatant language. I'll be more gentle about it. My being emotional about it was a bit of a mistake, I guess. It's like self-expression, but at what cost? So I won't be ignorant to that, but I want to put this out there just to say, like, hey, I had this moment. I used some words, but in a descriptive fashion about me for the purpose of standing with all these groups that are finally seeing a little bit more light and justice for their cause. I mean, there's 3 that I've mentioned, but there's literally hundreds of groups of people, human beings, these entities without identity, otherwise described in the universe. You know, just these energies that are out there that are suffering because of some historical or identity crisis or trauma, or, you know what I mean? Like, and they're crying and just, you know, like, it's such a sad thing that people have to go through that. But when I am confused and I make an argument, again, going back to the fact that I argue like a philosopher and a robot sometimes, that my effort to ask or even to inquire gets laughed off, like I have the audacity to ask. Like, I just want to say to my friends, I'm like, don't attack me because I'm not attacking you. I understand you're hurt. I fully understand that, and I respect that fact. But like, because you're hurt, does that mean I have to stay quiet? Is that what you want? I maybe misunderstand a lot of this stuff because that's the way it seems. Because if I try to like, maybe it's insensitive of me. Maybe this is what I'm missing, is that it's insensitive of me to ask an analytical question while somebody's in pain. Maybe that's what it is this whole time, that I'm not sensitive enough at those moments. I should just let it go. I might have just woken myself up. Welcome to waking up. I have to put that one on Wednesday. Waking up Wednesdays. Maybe I'll just write woke Wednesdays. Woke, right? If I put woke, will I get Tom McDonald to come in and sing his new Snowflake song? What up, Tom? I like the videos you make, dude. I'm not really sure I get everything that you're talking about quite just yet, but it's really impressive that they're out there. And being an independent artist, that's something to speak for. Can't say that I'm on Tom's side, because like I said, half the time I don't understand everything he's talking about. All I know is his videos get played. He's on his own label and he's making waves. That's pretty cool. So I'll do Woke Wednesday and we'll see if the algorithm picks up my bullshit. Probably not. I apologize for this. This is a little bit of a tailing end of my my Monday. Just to explain again, like this stuff really runs deep, and I don't think people understand me. I guess I don't really need to be understood, but the point that I'm trying to make is I don't want to hurt people. I really don't. That's not why I'm out here. I don't want to hurt anybody more than they already are. And more to the point, how can I be more supportive? How can I exercise a sensitivity to those issues, to those moments, to those topics without picking and prying? And like I can more than imagine that nobody wants to be dissected when they're feeling pain. You don't want to be like, I'm gonna dive right in on somebody's psyche after they discovered like 300 plus bodies buried under churches. No, that's not what I'm trying to do. And I empathize with every tear that's ever shed because of that issue. I really do. It's heart-wrenching for me to even think about now. It's just my attempts to understand have gone with both feet in my mouth, and I'm super clumsy with interacting socially. So I hope that I can get some forgiveness and some understanding in all this, but we'll see. So I'll post this one up online because I haven't said any naughty words. Try to behave myself today. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. I get a shade. Yeah. Thank you guys for sticking in there. Some of these topics are a mess. So we'll pick it up tomorrow, and let me know what you think. Should I leave it alone? Should I persist? I mean, I don't want to be silenced, but at the same time, I don't want to hurt people. So what are my options? Anyways, I'll check you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. Be kind to each other. Be gentle. And thanks for watching.